Hello football fanatics! Before we dive into the sizzling summer transfer news, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for the latest and greatest in football news. Your support helps us bring you the most exciting updates from the world of football. Now, let's get started. Arsenal. The Gunners are once again ready to set the transfer market ablaze. They're lining up their targets like a seasoned sniper, ready to make this summer a blockbuster sequel to their previous spending sprees. Already, they've taken 3 swings at West Ham's midfield maestro Declan Rice. With a whopping £105 million on the table, it's clear that Arsenal is not messing around. But the Hammers have so far resisted, turning down both first bids but will most likely accept the last one. In addition to their pursuit of Rice, they're also closing in on Chelsea's Kai Havertz. A £65 million deal is reportedly in the works, demonstrating Arsenal's willingness to invest heavily in their future. Havertz, with his technical skills and attacking prowess, could be a game changer for the Gunners. And let's not forget about their ongoing negotiations with Ajax for the rock-solid defender Jurrien. With a proposed deal between £30 to £40 million, Arsenal is showing their intent to strengthen their defense. Timber, with his versatility and composure, could be a valuable addition to the Gunners' backline. While other Premier League clubs are still warming up their engines, Arsenal is already speeding down the transfer highway. This isn't new for them though. Arsenal has a history of being ambitious in the transfer market, and this summer seems to be no different. Remember the summer of 2021? They splashed out £145 million on talents like Ben White, Martin Odegaard, and Aaron Ramsdale. These signings were a clear statement of intent from the Gunners, showing their determination to compete at the highest level. And last season, they parted with a whopping £165 million to transform Mikel Arteta's squad into title contenders. They added stars like Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko to their ranks, further strengthening their squad. We're halfway through this exciting update, and if you're enjoying this content, don't forget to share this video with your fellow football fans. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Who do you think Arsenal should target next? Your thoughts and opinions matter to us, so don't hesitate to join the discussion. Gone are the days when Arsenal was as tight with their money as Scrooge McDuck. Under American owner Stan Kroenke, every summer is like Christmas for the Gunners. They've spent over $300 million since the COVID-19 pandemic, without any significant sales to balance the books. And it seems this summer will be no different. This change in strategy is a clear departure from the past. The days of the club making Gunnosaurus, the club's towering dinosaur mascot, redundant back in 20, are a fast-fading memory. Now Arsenal is not just spending big, but they're also spending smart, investing in young talents who can shape the club's future. But hold on, you might be thinking, what about the financial fair play rules? Well, while other clubs like Chelsea, Manchester United and Newcastle United are feeling the pinch, Arsenal seems to be sitting pretty. Despite posting pre-tax losses of £226 million in the past 3 years, they're still signing checks like they're going out of style. But it's not all reckless spending. Arsenal maintains a relaxed outlook. Arteta insists that Arsenal is compliant with FFP, and why wouldn't they be? With Champions League football on the horizon for the first time since 2016-17, they're looking at record-breaking revenues. And let's not forget about their financial strength. Their successful 2021 and 2022 recruitments might have been risky, but this time around, they're standing on solid ground. They know what's coming. I don't see too much reason why they should be worried about FFP, says Kieran Maguire, finance lecturer at Liverpool University and co-host of the Price of Football podcast. They've spent a lot of money in the last couple of seasons and look as though they will again, but they've seen a significant rise in revenue streams. In 2022 to 23, they finished higher in the table, so they'll get more merit payments from the Premier League. They did modestly in Europe, losing in the last 16 of the Europa League, but at least there were those extra home games where they're probably making a couple of million each time. Now, Arsenal has to comply with two sets of FFP rules, the Premier League's and those overseen by UEFA. But with their recent financial performance, they're unlikely to be concerned. Losses attributed to the pandemic can be knocked off, as can a host of other allowable deductions, such as stadium developments, youth and community development, and women's football. The current assessment period also gives added leeway to the financial damage done by COVID-19 in 2019-20 and 20-21, with those seasons bolted together and an average taken from the two. Their resurgence last season, finishing as runners-up to Manchester City, likely brought in around £180 million from the Premier League. Plus, their run to the Europa League last 16 added as much as £30 million in prize money and matchday revenue. All that guarantees a marked uplift in turnover. And next season, with a return to the Champions League secured, we'll see the bottom line figure climb again for 2023-24. An extended run back in Europe's elite club competition would be worth more than £70 million in prize money alone to any Premier League club. And let's not forget about the potential sales. With questions over the futures of Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Kieran Tierney and Folarin Balogun, Arsenal could raise something in the region of £100 million via outgoing players. Another ace held by Arsenal has been their cost control of recent years. The wages paid out in 2021-22 accounted for just 58% of turnover, and only in 20-21, the season played almost totally behind closed doors, has the ratio gone higher than 70%. The £212 million paid on wages in 2021-22 was dwarfed by Manchester United's £384 million, Manchester City's £354 million, and Chelsea's £340 million. If we take a look at their wages, they were lower in 2022 than they were in 2018, adds Maguire. What we've seen over the course of the last 5 or 6 seasons is Arsenal getting their costs under pretty good control, even though they've not been a Champions League club. Again, that puts them in a strong position. Arsenal's wage structure has since been expanded with the arrivals of Zinchenko and Jesus last summer, as well as the recent new and improved deals for Bukayo Saka and Ramsdale. Adding Rice, Havertz and Timber would bring further financial commitments. These will matter more under UEFA's revised FFP rules, now known as Financial Sustainability Regulations, which came into force in June last year. Clubs will not be able to commit more than 90% of turnover on wages, transfers and agents' fees in 2023-24, with that falling to 80% in 24-25 and ending at 70% in 2025-26. The losses allowed over a 3-year period have also climbed from €30 million to €60 million, £51.3 million or $65.4 million under UEFA's revised rules. Unlike Chelsea, Leicester City, Manchester City and West Ham United, Arsenal were not one of the 19 clubs placed on UEFA's monitoring list last September, and the expectation is they are not among those sailing too close to the wind. Because of the TV revenues, the big English clubs are already well set to conform with UEFA's rules, says Plumlee. You factor in agents' fees and transfer fees, but they're still well set to transition. Arsenal have actually got more scope than most. They're back in the Champions League, crowds are back in, and they're in a position where they're confident in their ability to invest. And here's a fun fact for you. The money Arsenal spends this summer won't all show up in this season's accounts. Thanks to a little thing called amortization, the cost can be spread out over the players' contracts. So the £45 million they spent on Gabriel Jesus last summer, that's spread out over 5 years, at £9 million a season. That means Arsenal's extravagant spending is projected forward, affording them the chance to do it all again this summer. This is a smart strategy that allows the club to invest heavily in new talent, while managing their financial commitments effectively. So, what's the bottom line? Arsenal is back in the game, folks. They're back in the Champions League, their revenues are climbing and they're ready to invest. So buckle up, because this summer transfer window is going to be a wild ride. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Arsenal's transfer strategy, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Also, consider becoming a member of our channel for exclusive content and perks. Your support helps us continue to bring you the most comprehensive and engaging football content. Stay tuned for more exciting football news and analysis. Until next time, keep the football spirit alive.